need a mint. You know what I'm saying?
That fresh breath, even though it doesn't really matter because we're worlds apart.
Well, you might be able to smell it through my freaking microphone. I don't know.
Get yourself a drink and some snacks to start chilling with Ken and Cosimo. You are now listening to Tune In and Chill.
What's going on, everyone? Thanks for tuning in. My name is Cosmo.
And my name is Ken, and you're listening in to Tune In and Chill.
And today's topic is September. There's a lot going on in September, and we're starting off September with going back to school.
Yeah, back to school, eh? I don't know what that is like for a long time.
It's been a while. It's been a while.
I feel so old saying that, but haven't thought about school supplies or anything like that. But that's crazy, eh? It's like different now. It's different.
Well, yeah, I was gonna say, even though we haven't been to school in a long time, it's gonna be different for everyone, especially those that are supposed to be in class with COVID going on.
Yeah,
there's a lot of online learning now, a lot of online web classes.
Yeah, my niece has even started school. She's starting university, but now it's all online. It's crazy. I was like, online is actually something that I wanted to do a long time ago. Just out of the option of them having it, because I was like, I don't want to go to class or whatever. Being at home and eating snacks and watching TV while you study, I thought that would have been pretty awesome. But now it's kind of like almost mandatory in a sense. But I believe some schools have an option to still go back to class. Like, it's still an option there. But of course, a lot of people are choosing to stay home to study for their children's safety.
Yeah, absolutely. It's funny. It's been on and off where I've thought about doing some online classes too.
Yeah.
So I don't know. I'm definitely still thinking about it. I think I'd still love to be able to do, a class or two, or a program. Do a program.
Yeah.
Online. Especially now that everything's being geared towards online. I think it would definitely help. I've noticed, I don't know, have you heard of Coursera?
Coursera, I believe I have. Yeah.
It's this website where they're hosting a lot of like online courses from top universities and schools around the world. So you can actually attend a Harvard class where you are.
Oh, right. Yeah, I think I've heard. I think there's a couple of other ones that's available as well. But yeah, one of them.
There's
is that
lots.
one.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's pretty cool.
So I've been looking at maybe doing one of those. I'm not too sure. Google has piqued my interest with one of their project planning courses. It's not available yet. They're just teasing it that it's coming soon.
Oh, really? That's really good. You should totally do it. Why not?
I was trying to sign up for the updates for it, and it keeps asking, please enter a valid zip code. And, well, I'm in Canada, so my postal code didn't work.
Yeah, they should make it available for everyone. I think maybe they're trying to pilot it. I don't know, but yeah, they're trying to make it exclusive to the States.
I'm hoping it's just the newsletter portion that's just for the States, but when it arrives on Coursera, I hope it's available to everyone.
Yeah, that's true. I think I know a couple people who actually took a couple courses on there, and you can choose like whether you want the certified version, like you can actually get a certificate for completing it. And then there's some courses you don't get it, but you can still have some type of, it's not a cert, but it's more like a verification that you completed the course, and you can use that to put on your resume and improve it so you can potentially get hired for other jobs.
It's like a completion certificate type of thing.
Yeah. No, that's pretty cool. I don't think there's going to be too much like difference. I don't like in terms of like being able to go back to school anytime soon, just because of the virus and everything. So I think this is a good option, even for not just people who are going to school currently, but for people like, us that have been either graduated or thinking of improving or wanting to learn different things.
Yeah. Yeah, it's... Sorry, go ahead.
Oh, no. I was just going to say that... No, it's all right. Go ahead. I actually lost my train of thought. So
It's all good.
Yeah.
All I was just simply going to say was it's definitely different times now, especially with technology.
Yeah.
Like everything's just so different and everything's changing so fast. And speaking of technology, September is also a packed month for tech announcements.
Yes.
We had Xbox, unveil their pricing for their new Xbox S and their Xbox Series X. We had Apple do their conference the other day. Actually, it was yesterday. They were talking about their new Apple Watches, and they got some new iPads coming out. And then Sony's coming out today. They finally revealed their pricing on the new PlayStation 5. And then GoPro today as well, also announced their new GoPro. And next week, we actually have got Battery Day with Elon Musk and Tesla. It's pretty packed.
Yeah, this month is pretty packed with that stuff. And I don't know, what do you think? What's your take on, since... Yeah, I'm just going to try to relate this to the students and stuff, because obviously with people and students studying at home and doing school from home, PlayStation 5 and everything, do you think, it's kind of obviously a back to school targeting for these people who are in these age ranges to buy these products. And because a lot more people are staying at home, do you think these are more geared towards students and targeting towards students in terms of market research that they did?
I don't think it's necessarily targeted to just students. I mean, they're a big portion of it. I mean, there's definitely a lot of adults that play as well.
Yeah.
Sony and Microsoft have always catered to the holiday market. So it's that Christmas. So they always announce, months before, so you can prepare your budget, make sure you have enough money for when the presents come. But definitely there's a lot of students and kids that'll be asking for, the new consoles on their wish list.
Yeah.
For sure.
That's what I was thinking. I was like...
but definitely a lot of students are going to be picking this up.
Yeah.
And especially with how the stay-at-home orders are around the world. We've seen this happen with the Nintendo Switch. They are extremely hard to find right now because everyone's trying to get one. And the shortage happened way back in April.
Oh, really?
And we're still having issues trying to find Switches.
Oh, wow.
They're just selling like hotcakes. So I'm willing to bet something similar could happen with, the PlayStation 5 and new Xbox, because it's just something to do at home.
Right.
And plus, there's a good chance this winter, here at least in Vancouver, we're supposed to be seeing an actual snowy winter this year. So that could mean maybe some snow days.
Yeah, even more of a reason to stay inside. I just feel like maybe PlayStation 5 and all these gaming consoles will... I mean, they're a little bit of a distraction for students, right? When they're studying at home and stuff. And unless they're their parents are literally hiding the console somewhere until they complete their homework or whatever, and then they bring it back out. But it's going to be hard times for even parents, because now, some parents, they both work. The wife and the husband go work, and then they have their kids go to school, and then that's the time when they don't need to hire a babysitter or anything like that, or drop them off at their parents' house to be able to take care of their kids. And it's going to be tough times, but hopefully everything works out for the best.
It's going to be an interesting holiday season, that's for sure.
Yeah. I think...
that's for sure.
Just going back to the tech part, you did mention a couple other things like Apple event. I didn't take a look at the Apple event at all. But what was your take on this event? I heard that there wasn't any actual like what was it, like iPhone type of stuff on there?
Yeah, so this event focused on the Apple Watch and the iPads.
Okay.
The iPhones, as rumored, because they've been pushed back to October. So hopefully we see another event, probably like in the first or second week of October.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, so that's when we'll see the iPhones. But this event just focused on their Apple Watch Series 6. Yeah. Which for me, the biggest new feature would be the oxygen monitor on there. Someone that gets, as someone that always gets super anxious, you know, it always helps to be able to know that you're breathing.
Yeah, definitely.
Or, you know, if you're climbing up an altitude, you just want to make sure, you know, it's like oxygen's going down. Yeah. You've got your watch to tell you that right on your wrist.
Definitely.
They also announced a more budget-friendly model called the Apple Watch SE. Oh. Kind of like how they had the iPhone SE. So it doesn't have the oxygen monitor, but it has, you know, a lot of the big features that made it great at a more affordable option. So I think that was pretty cool.
Oh, nice.
And then they announced a new iPad and then a new iPad Air, which looks really nice. It looks a lot like the iPad Pro now. It's got like more of that like rectangular look, almost like the iPhone 4. Yeah. And what was really cool is, you remember Touch ID? So they've redesigned Touch ID on the iPad Air for it to be the power. It's on the power button. Oh. So that like little rectangular strip, it's there. It's not the circle thumb one. You can do your fingers. You click it, which is pretty
interesting.
Cool.
I think there was a different cell phone company that started doing that as well. I forgot which one. I just saw it on YouTube one day, but
I did too, but I can't remember.
Yeah, it was kind of like an odd thing.
I can't keep up.
That's really cool. I don't know. Like I've always was a person who didn't really, it's not that I didn't believe in the iPad or anything. So I've had the iPad mini, I've had the iPad, the first generation, and then I've had the third generation iPad, I think, as well. And to me, this is because it's all before the iPad Pro, and I think I would use the iPad Pro more now than the previous iPads. It was something like halfway in between like your phone and your laptop. And for me, I just felt like I never used it. Like I just never had the mindset that, oh, I need the iPad like now. This would be the perfect time to use it. Like I never actually had that. It's almost I bought it because of the hype. And then it ended up just being in my bag for the longest time.
Have you tried it with iOS 14? Or I mean, iPad OS? I mean, iPad OS 13?
No, I have not. But what's the difference?
It makes it feel a little bit more like a computer. It's not quite there yet, but like you can start plugging, you know, like your memory card directly into the iPad. You know, and you've got an actual like file organization. I don't have an iPad, so I can't try it, but I'm just going off what people are saying. And like, for example, the way I could see it being very useful is, let's say you're on set, you're taking photos, and you quickly want to see how the photos turned out. You can plug in your SD card reader in there and just pop your card from your camera and quickly import them all into Lightroom, and you can right away see that. Yeah,
definitely. Like now that I've went to the Apple store with their iPad Pro, and I think my brother-in-law has one too, I believe. But I actually would like one now, just because I would be able to edit photos on the go, and I like the stylist, and to be able to even, you know, for photography and stuff, you like to do maybe a custom signature, and you can kind of do all that on the iPad. I just like how intuitive it is now, more geared towards designers and stuff like that. So I would probably like one now, but even now with having 3 iPads of the older versions, I would never go back to them. You know what I mean? Like it's just nothing that I think that I cannot do with my phone or my laptop. And just speaking of doing this kind of iPad, you know, with the upgrades of iPad and everything, I have one theory. Okay, so just bear with me and hear me out on this theory. So I have this odd theory that the iPad will phase out one day for Apple, like the direction it's going. The reason why I think this is because the Apple laptops, I feel like because of the new, what is it, the ARM or something like that, with their new system that they're phasing out from Intel.
Yeah, it's their custom silicone.
Yeah, so the custom silicone laptops and stuff. And I've always kind of like said this to some people, and I said, the only thing that the MacBook is missing is literally the screen intuitiveness, which basically just means to be able to swivel the screen around and to fold it flat together on like the other side. So that's missing. The other thing is touch capability. And I feel like if you basically have the touch capability with this laptop, and then make it geared towards like the MacBook Air, because it's really thin, then essentially it's just a really big iPad. And then, so I just feel like the iPad, the functionality of the iPad will be somewhat basically crossed with the MacBook Pro. And all you need to do is just make a MacBook to be able to flip the screen to make it flat, which turns into like an iPad, basically a little bit thicker, but then to be able to have touchscreen on the laptop screen. And that would just make it like the ultimate thing to carry around and to do whatever you want. It comes with a stylus and everything. So I think that's going to be the direction. I'm not sure, but maybe 10 years from now, I might be right. I might be really wrong.
It's possible. I'm pretty sure, was it Johnny Ive? I can't remember who it was. They stated they didn't want to bring touch to Mac OS. Now, I don't know if they've changed their stance. They wanted to keep it separate.
Really?
But that was an old interview, so I don't know if they've changed their mind on that.
Well, yeah,
anything can
I just
happen.
feel like that could be the direction. Like, I feel like Apple's just like, one minute they say something, the other time they're like, it's not happening. And with all these rumors coming out, I just don't know what's accurate and what's not. But yeah, that's just my little, I don't know, kind of like intuition that I have.
We're just going to have to wait and see.
Yeah.
I hate that part.
Yeah.
I'm very impatient.
Yeah, exactly. But I mean, technology is changing all the time. You got even GoPro coming out with a new GoPro 9, and it's frustrating for me because I just bought the 8. So it's kind of like, oh, okay, I should have waited. But I don't know. From what I see, the GoPro 9 doesn't seem to be something that I would want to buy. Like, it's not something that I'd be like, oh, I gotta have it. You know what I mean?
It's definitely nice. I don't think I need a GoPro right now. I still have my 4 or 3. No, GoPro Hero 3. So I'm okay for now. That could change, but right now, I think I'd rather have like the Sony A7S III, which again I don't need. I just want.
Yeah,
it's
that's
nice.
exactly the camera I want to.
I think it's going to be on a lot of people's lists this holiday season
for sure.
When it comes
GoPro
out.
9, the only thing literally that has changed, like for aesthetic wise and for functionality, I wouldn't say the only thing, but one of the major things that you're going to notice is you're going to have a front facing LCD screen that's going to be able to see what you're recording when you're vlogging or whatever, you're facing the camera towards you. So that would be something that's pretty good, I guess.
I think that's huge, to be honest. Like, especially when you've got like a selfie stick out or something, you know you're in frame.
And I think it just goes to show you what GoPro can do with their compact camera. I mean, that's pretty impressive to pack all that in to such a tiny body and still be able to get the quality that you get with it.
Absolutely. Absolutely. And then Sony even announced their other camera, the A7C.
Yeah. So that's like to me, that's, I don't know. It's cool. It might target some of the people who wants a full frame camera, because I believe it's a full frame camera in basically like a A6600 body.
Yeah, pretty much.
Maybe a little bit more robust, but yeah, I can see people buying that. You lose some of the functions, but you gain some. So it's not you're not going to get the best of both worlds from everything. But yeah, what's your take on it? What do you think of the camera?
I think if you travel a lot, or you're always holding the camera up in front of you, or you need to be in areas where you don't want to be so like noticeable, like, oh hey, what's that guy doing with that giant camera? I think it's perfect, because if you've got that full frame sensor and you got a nice wide lens, you can get yourself nicely in the frame there. You can do some great vlogging shots. I think it's a great like vacation camera as well. A little pricey to be a vacation camera, but I think you'd be able to get some really good shots, especially because it is still interchangeable lenses, right? And if you've got a full A7 III, A7R 4, all your lenses still work. They just pop off, pop on.
That's true.
I think it's definitely geared to someone that's a lot more mobile and that wants to travel light.
Understandable. Yeah, I think that's because they just came out with their Z1 or something.
Yeah, there's also the Z1 or Z3, ZV1. No, yeah, there is like a little vlogger one that's like this big.
So they've been coming out with a lot of cameras, and I'm pretty impressed that they can come up with these. And they're obviously targeting everyone at this point. Like, it's
a camera for everyone.
Like, I don't know if that comes off as desperate or if it comes off as like look what we can do. Like,
I think in one way, I think they're giving everyone lots of options. So like, if one's too expensive, okay, well, you've got one here. Oh, you need something super light. You've got one here. If you need something that does a little bit of both, we've got a camera for you. You need a camera just for video. We got one for you. You need a camera just for like high resolution photos. We got one for they've got one for each category.
That's true.
Which is very handy. But what it also does, it's like, well, for just $400 more, I can get this one.
They leave that perfect gap of price,
Yeah, so in one way, it can almost be used to upsell their other cameras.
That's true. They're smart. What can I say? Marketing works, and they have the technology to make everyone want to come to them. And that's, I think, that's kind of like,
supply and demand.
That's their one stop over. I think Canon is like they have the capability to do this. But we'll see what Canon comes up with. You never know. Canon might have some stuff that's pretty good in the works, all silent and stuff.
Well, they shocked everyone with the R5. Like 8K, that came out of nowhere. That was like left field.
Exactly. I think though that camera is more like what they can do instead of this is your perfect functioning camera. You know what I mean? Like, I feel like that's more like a showcase camera than it is than anything.
Yeah, of course.
So it's pretty exciting to know what they can do for their next camera. So that's pretty exciting.
Yeah, definitely. My wallet just can't keep up, man. It's literally just
take my money and run.
There is no wallet.
Oh man, yeah, I can't. I've been contemplating on buying the A7S III, but I don't know if I should just like fork the money out for it.
As much as I want it, I'm just gonna just wait. I don't need it just yet. Eventually we can upgrade, but I'm gonna hold off. I'm gonna hold off.
Oh, so by the way, I just wanted to actually talk to you about a Kickstarter campaign that I saw, because I'm on Kickstarter all the time. And I was just kind of browsing through it, and I found this one called Arsenal 2. Now, I'm not sure if you heard of it.
That sounds so familiar.
Yeah, so Arsenal 1 came in last year, I believe it was, and then it became a really successful campaign. So what it is basically a little device that you can hook to your camera, and I think it has a hot shoe mount, so you can put it on your hot shoe on your camera and set it on top. It's really small, and what it basically does is it's a AI technology computer that basically can hook up to some cameras. There's a list of compatible cameras on their Kickstarter campaign, but what it does is it basically takes the perfect photos, quote unquote. So let's say, like, for example, there's like a method of taking photography called photo stacking, as you might know, right? Mm-hmm. So photo stacking, usually you take like overexposed, underexposed, and then mid exposure, depending on if you want to keep the sky exposed and stuff like that, keeping detail, right? So what this little device does is does photo stacking for you inside the little computer that they have, so you don't need to do photo stacking in post.
Okay.
So it perfectly exposes a photo for you. It changes your ISO, your aperture, your shutter speed, and then does photo stacking, does long exposure photography as well, and also does like astrophotography, all with a click of a shutter button. You don't need to do anything but to just tell it to, if like depending on the mode, you just set it to like, oh, I want to do astrophotography. You click the shutter button and it'll take everything for you. You don't need to focus in on the stars or anything.
So do you use your phone to control it, or do you use the module on the little box?
There is an application that you can download, and then you basically pair it with that device, and then you basically tell it what type of shot you want to do, like long exposure, you want to take astrophotography, whatever you want to do, and then you basically say go, and then it takes all of it for you.
So it takes all the shots and then it combines it for you as a new image, or how does I guess it's a new image that's stacked? Do
Correct.
I still have my 5 RAW just in case?
No, so you don't have your 5 RAW after that. So it basically combines it all and then gives you the final image. So what this basically does is, for anyone who is starting out photography, or like, wanting to save a little time on photography, to be able to get these photos. So it automatically does it for you. Now, there is obviously a downside to this, is that you're not going to have the freedom to do it yourself, like, to be able to photo stack yourself and to be able to do everything. Yeah. So that you're going to lose. But also, this is really cool because for some people who either don't know the techniques of taking that photo, to be able to kind of get the results that a professional would. But also, this device comes at a very controversial standpoint, because it also gives professional photographers a little bit of a, I don't know, like an in your face, if you know what I mean. Because the fact is, you have this device that can do everything that a professional photographer would be able to do, minus the fact that, editing and post and stuff, okay? This is all in camera, right at that point. And it's kind of like, to me, it sounds like in your face, because you've taken all this time to learn photography and to learn the skills of learning ISO, aperture, and all that technique. And then this computer just comes in front of you and does it for you, type of thing. You know what I mean? So there is kind of that controversial standpoint as well, but I think it's really cool as a device. Like, it's kind of like, wow, like this is how AI technology and, what it's capable of doing. But I don't know what your take is on this. Like, not just saying like, would you buy it, but would you recommend your friends to get it who's not into photography that much as you are?
It's definitely interesting. Like, it's definitely interesting, the fact that it can do it for you. It pretty much shows how far AI is coming along and how fast it's learning.
Yeah.
Like in other fields, like people start freaking out because AI is going to take over their job. So in one way, if this device can be taking this perfect photo, then you won't need, professional photographers to take photos for you. Just point and click and the AI will perfectly set everything up.
Right.
But that's only half the equation, because you can have like a photo that is properly like exposed and everything, but the posing, the what's the word I'm looking for? Like setting up a shot.
Composition.
There it is. the composition and stuff, it won't do that for you. Like you still need someone to properly, set up a shot. If you're doing car photography and you're using that photo stack, and you still need to get the car lined up nicely with the background. Same with astrophotography. You still need to find the horizon, and if you want, trees or the mountains in the background, it won't do that for you. Like, it'll take a good picture, but it's not a amazing photo. Right. So you still need that. But I mean, I don't know. I haven't really thought about it too much, to be honest, but I think it'd be cool to try. Mm-hmm. I think when it comes to learning stuff, everyone always says the same thing: learn the basics first. Right. So I think it's still important to learn how to take a photo yourself, because if you rely on that AI system to take every photo for you, and then if you're put into a situation where you don't have it, and now you need to take a photo, you're not going to have a clue because you're just used to clicking the button once. Right. And exactly, that's what I was going to say as well. Like, you always have to rely on the basics at the end of the day, because technology can ultimately break on you when you are least expecting it. Yeah, so, but as a tool, like if you want to save some time and you're just doing like quick, you need the shot quick and you don't really want to, or you're too lazy, or you just need it done faster. I mean, the tool is great. It's like, okay, we need some quick shots. Click, 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 click. You know how to set the composition up, and it does a decent job. I think it'd be pretty cool. I would definitely give it a shot. That's for sure. Yeah, for sure. This device right now on Kickstarter, you can get it for, let's see what they're having it. So they have a standard version, and then they have a pro version. So the pro version does everything that I just told you, like, long exposure photography, astrophotography, photo stacking. So you want to get the pro version if you're going to get this for the money's worth. And right now there is $219. So that's the US dollars. US dollars. That's the pledge amount for the pro version. Early bird right now. There is 93 left, and they're going like hotcakes right now. And they're supposed to retail for $365. So, wow. It's a good deal right now if you get it. $219, and then you get this AI technology. They had the first one last year, and it did really well. But this one's like just next level. Like, it basically just like tell your camera to just walk away and do it. Is this for video too, or just photos? Just photos. Okay. So maybe they might start doing video as well on the next one. Who knows? But gotcha. This is like it's kind of like Canon with their R5 is showcasing what they can do with such literally a small device. I don't think it's bigger than, like an SSD, like the small little SSDs that you buy. Like, wow, that's really small. Yeah. And to pack all that motherboard in there and that technology, and it recognizes your camera. And again, compatibility of the camera, they're still kind of updating that as it goes, but they have all the major cameras for Sony and Canon and stuff like that. So it's good. I mean, I think definitely I would try it. I would try it just to try it. And I might use it for, client work and stuff like that as well, depending on, time frame of the whole thing. But yeah. If my wallet wasn't hurting, I'd try it too. Yeah, exactly. But I don't know. I think this is something that is pretty good for, I don't know, I would say, again, beginners. You would have to kind of go back to the basics and learn everything. So you definitely have to do that. But I don't know, that's something of a go back to school type of technology for even students to learn who are taking photography. But with all this kind of like at home thing, you can't even take photography class anymore, and you got to kind of rely on, I don't know how that kind of works, but I think students will be at home studying, but they need to, a lot of self-learning, but I feel like they're all just going to be couch potatoes at the end of the day. So I feel like they need to get out more. I can join them on that. I definitely. Are you a couch potato, or are you going to start like doing something like exercising or something? Well, it's okay. Definitely to start. I haven't been doing much, I've been thinking about starting to ride the bike more often. Maybe even bike to work, save some money on gas.
Oh yeah.
And while getting in shape at the same time. Because, dude, I'm starting to feel real sloppy. Like, really starting to feel it going up the stairs. I'm like, oh, man, like, this is, whew. Because I have not gone to the gym since they've closed down, or even before they closed down. What am I saying? Who am I kidding? But I've definitely not been to the gym since they've closed due to COVID.
Yeah.
They've reopened, but I don't really trust the idea of going to the gym right now. I feel like it's a very, very high area to catch COVID.
Yeah. You have a bike right now, or are you going to go purchase a bike?
Well, funny enough, I'm going to be picking up a new bike. One of my colleagues hooked me up with. So I'm going to go check that out tomorrow and see how that goes. I'm excited to go check it out.
Nice. What's the pricing point? Is it those like road bikes? Like those kind of thin tire ones, or?
It's like a gravel bike.
Gravel. So it's like a mountain bike.
So it's like a half... not quite a mountain bike, but he said it's like a half road, half gravel. So like if you can ride on the road, but if you want to like jump on a trail, it can handle it.
Oh, really? Okay.
So yeah, so I'm not too sure on the price is. So he's gonna show me tomorrow. I'm gonna find out.
Right on. Well, I was thinking of buying a bike a long time ago when I was in Vancouver, as far as like buying just a road-friendly bike. But I didn't want like mountain bike because those are really thick tires and stuff. But then my friends are buying bikes like $3,000, $4,000, and I was like, I don't really have that type of money to drop on a bike right now. But yeah, something used would be nice, but I don't know.
Yeah, I mean, I think probably realistically, like a decent bike. Honestly, when I was looking at bikes first, I was like, in my head, $250, $350. I did a lot of Googling, YouTubing, and everyone they just started laughing. They're like, no. They're like, you need to spend like $800 to like $1,500-ish for a decent bike that'll last you.
Yeah. And it's actually like, just because I've done mountain biking before and stuff. And it's actually the pricing doesn't just go to the brand, which is a big part of it. So the brand is important, and you're paying for the brand, but it's also to do with the weight of the bike. So the more lighter the bike is, especially like those ones that are like the racing bikes that, what's that famous guy? I was going to say Neil Armstrong, but it's not. Lance Armstrong. Lance Armstrong.
Lance.
Yes.
Lance, maybe? Yeah, there you go.
For some reason, the Armstrong, I get mixed up. But anyways, those bikes those guys use is really light. You can lift it with your pinky. Like it's they're paper light. Yeah. So I mean, you're probably not going to get something like that, but the money you're spending for the actual, technology that's involved in making the frame, the parts on the bike itself. So it's important, but is it important enough to you to invest that much money just to get to work and back every day?
Well, here's the other way I look at it is, let's say I do start doing that, and let's say, you know what, I want to start going on trails, or I want to start going on the road. I want to make sure the thing's not going to fail on me in the middle of the road. Yeah.
But I mean, to be honest, with me building bikes back then, if you have decent rims and decent tires and a decent like inner tube, which is like the thing that you fill inside the actual tire, then the entirety of the other parts of the bike doesn't really matter because you're riding it really light. It's not like you're doing really hardcore stuff that you're going to rely on. Like you're not going to be dropping from 10-foot walls and bring it into skate parks and doing like tricks on it and stuff. So, but as far as you just riding on sidewalks, and the only bump that you're going to be hitting is either speed bumps or the curb of like a sidewalk, then you're good. Like, I think just get a decent bike for a decent price that you think is good, that's not too heavy, and then you'll be golden.
Well, I'm gonna go check this thing out tomorrow, and we'll see how that goes. Get that fitness in. get that cardio pumping.
Yeah. How far is it from your place to work, kilometer wise?
It's like,
is it
3, 4,
3?
5. It's roughly 5 kilometers, something like that.
Yeah. Well,
so it's pretty close.
But I remember near your place, it's like it's downhill to your work, but then it's like all incline up to your house.
Exactly. So getting to work will be super easy. It's coming home from work.
That's the exercise.
Where it's going to be an uphill. Yeah, exactly.
That's funny.
Exactly.
But I guess it's good. I mean, some people I've heard switched over to a bike and then ended up just either selling their car or they put their car at home and then put like I think they downgraded their insurance plan or something. So they pay less.
Yeah.
And then they just have...
Yeah, you can do that.
Yeah. And then they only use it to go to the groceries or whatever. But...
yeah, they probably moved it from like to and from work to just pleasure.
Yeah. So, yeah, I think it's pretty good. I am so wanting a one wheel, but I cannot justify the price for that thing. It's pretty expensive.
I haven't tried a one wheel. I don't think I trust myself on one wheel.
Well, it just seems like everyone has one, not just because I want to buy it for that reason, but I just felt like, oh, like that'd be cool. I've always wanted like a longboard that I can ride, but then I was thinking, there's electrical longboards, but I can't really go off-road with those. And then they have kind of like the off-road version with like the bigger kind of chunkier tires, but then I was like, but a one wheel just seems like it can cover everything. Like, I can drop off the sidewalks and hit bumps and it's not going to really matter. So, but I was like $1,800. Like, I don't know if I can fork that much out,
I'm okay for now. I'm gonna stick to my 2 wheels and my handlebars. And we'll try one wheel next summer, maybe.
Yeah.
Next summer.
I'm in Okinawa, and obviously, like, there's a pretty big American population with the American military base being on this island. And I haven't seen too many people ride the one wheel, but I've heard people have bought them. So I know there's like that little 1% of population that has it here, but I just really want one because there's so many flat roads here and there's beaches everywhere, and it'd just be like super awesome to be able to vlog and like to hold a camera super steady, get those nice B-roll shots as well. So there's, I think, a lot of opportunities, but yeah, we'll see. We'll see about that.
That'd definitely be cool.
I just want One Wheel to sponsor me. That would be a pretty good thing. But yeah, anything else that you thinking of purchasing?
Well, at first I was thinking about getting the new Apple Watch, the Series 6. Like, I was really set on getting it, but then after thinking about it, I might just wait for next year's version.
Really?
I might. I don't know. I'm still thinking. I really want it because of the oxygen monitor, but I'm gonna try and hold off. I read there's a rumor that there might be a slight redesign on the watch, the way it looks on next year's model.
Oh.
So maybe we'll wait for that, and then maybe a MacBook Pro because I need a laptop.
Yeah, MacBook. Are you gonna get the silicone or silicone? Yeah.
I kind of want to wait and see what happens. So. Because apparently they're supposed to announce like a silicon version, and I know they have some regular Intel ones on the way too.
Yeah.
But I'm thinking more of when they announce that, the previous models go on sale. So I'm kind of curious to see that.
Yeah, that is also true. But
save a little bit of cash that way.
I heard people to like also saying that they were saying don't invest in the new 16 that's out right now, like the 16-inch MacBook Pro, because like these series are going to go obsolete, like the ones that we're currently having. So it's kind of like...
It'd definitely be the 13-inch. I'm looking for the little portable one.
Yeah? Yeah. Well, Yeah, I wanted to get like the iMac, but I was like, oh, so much money. Like everything I want is like so much money. I can't.
Dude, my list, I always tell myself that's it. I'm done. There's no more big purchases for the rest of the year. And then, breaking news, this product was just announced. I'm like, oh my God. Add to cart, add to cart.
Exactly.
delete.
Just had like,
That's
just like
killing me,
literally,
man.
you go to
killing me.
like my Amazon page and it's literally add to cart. Everything's on there. And then I just have it on there. It's like a wish list, but I don't put it on my wish list. I just have it in my cart. Like any day I could just be like check out and I could go broke in like seconds. But yeah. I can't seem to think of like any other way to avoid looking at technology.
It just never ends.
Yeah.
Well, it looks like we're out of time.
Thank you for tuning in to our episode today. And please hit that subscribe button and like and turn on those notifications for future episodes. And thanks for being with us.
We'll see you on the next one.
See you later.
Bye now.